anything else. All right, perfect. All right, so I want to welcome you guys to the 5-day boot camp. This is my first time ever doing this. I am very, very, very excited of getting this started. I want you guys to know that today is not going to be day one, right? I want to kind of have today like an introduction. I want to talk to you guys because what I realized is I only gave you guys a couple hours notice to get onto the Zoom today. So I'm going to have like an introduction of what we're going to expect for the next couple of days. It's still going to be a pretty lengthy Zoom, but it won't be like the actual class, right? So it's not going to be structure, area of interest, entry signals, like none of that stuff, right? We'll save that for tomorrow. So these classes are going to go all the way up into Sunday. It'll be one class every day until Sunday. But like I'm not that type of guy that I say, oh, 5 days of class and then I'm out. Like I'm not like that. I'm going to make sure I give you guys enough value and so you guys understand everything. Like my goal is literally doing this to help you guys out, right? I'm not going to, just do 5 days, 1 hour, and then, figure out the rest. I'm just not like that. You guys will notice that I'm very patient. I answer every single question. A lot of you guys are going to have the same questions. I'm going to repeat it multiple times. Just kind of want to set you guys up for this week ahead, right? I have this thing, which if you guys were part of IML, you guys may know. It's like type 1 or type 2. It's like a funny thing if you guys were part of IML. If you guys weren't, you guys probably won't know. But basically, if you guys understand everything, you just type 1. And if you guys don't, type 2. And in the chat, I just see the majority. If I see the majority 1s, we move on to the next topic. If I see 2s, then we obviously, retouch it up again, right? So if you guys are with me so far, you guys understand everything, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2. And then it's like the best way. And yeah, all of the messages come directly to me. Because sometimes what I realized is in the last class is that people ask questions. They won't ask the questions in the Zoom, and they'll ask me through DM. And I'm like, bro, why don't you ask me on the Zoom? And it's basically, like I'm shy. I don't want to sound like a dumb question. So to kind of eliminate that barrier, all of the messages come directly to me. So you guys can ask me anything, and I'm the only person that sees it. So if you guys understand everything, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2. All right, perfect. All right, let me share my screen. All right, let me do this. This trade is looking solid. All right. All right, perfect. So like I said, today is just going to be an introduction to what to expect for the next coming days, because I didn't give you guys enough time to get ready. And I'm a very fair person. I'm not like that. I can't say, oh, just you didn't make it, you missed a life. I'm just not like that. Right. So we're going to divide the following days in 5. So let me set this up. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Right. So day 1 is going to be market structure and top-down analysis. This is going to be day 1. Day 2 is going to be area of interest plus confluences. And then day 3 is going to be entry signal and tying it all together, right? So this is going to be day 3, and then day 4 is going to be psychology and psychology, right? So I think this is very interesting because what I realized on the last 3 days that I did, everybody understood the technicals perfectly, right? You guys are going to notice the way that I explain it, it is so simple, so straight to the point. You guys are literally going to have a checklist, like literally a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like all you have to do is just do this, check it. If it doesn't check off, you don't take your trade. Like it is really that simple. But I didn't have this. And I realized this is what held me back a very, long time in order to succeed. And they're kind of just like things that a lot of you guys already know, but you guys just kind of need somebody to tell it to you. You need somebody to make you understand it. Because we all know there's FOMO. We all know there's greed, fear, like all of these things, right? But it's kind of just putting it like in perspective. It's putting it so you understand it that like, hey, like it's normal. I did it. This is how you overcome it. And then this is how you move on when you have the trading plan, right? So that's why I wanted to add these 2 days. And I think there's going to be a lot of value. I personally myself have a like full psychology course, which I think at the end of it, I'm just going to give you guys like some of the videos, because I'm telling you, they're very, 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 very helpful. So if you guys understand everything so far, type 1. If you don't, type 2. David, you're driving, bro. Don't type 1, man. I see you, man. Darren, you're driving too, bro. Don't be typing 1, bro. I see you. You guys are crazy. Everything is recorded. You guys are good. All right, perfect. So today, tomorrow we're gonna do market structure, top down analysis, so on and so forth. Right. Before I get started on anything, I want to make sure you guys get a feel of how I look at the markets, right? So this is something that I've learned after working very closely with some students. And I realized that a lot of you guys don't see the markets how I see it, because you guys literally don't see the market how I see it, right? It's kind of crazy. How do you see the market how I see it? You need to see it how I see it. So I recommend you guys to have the same candlesticks, same background, same wick, same everything. Because, for example, let's say if I were to get the appearance and then I were to add a watermark and then I were to add the background and make it, I don't know, gray. If you guys notice, this market doesn't even look the same anymore. It nowhere near looks as clean as how it was. So that's why I highly recommend you guys to get your markets looking exactly how mine are, which is very simple. It's like the most textbook way to do it. When it comes to my trading, I'm going to do everything as textbooks as it gets, because if you want to trade as close as like a professional trader, you got to get as professional as it gets. So first thing is you want to have bodies going up blue or green. I like blue because if I do green, it won't affect, it won't like blend in with the risk to reward tool. So if I do blue, it kind of pops, and I feel like it just looks a lot more modern. The red candles obviously coming down, borders, all these things are black, wicks are black. You don't want to have them different colors. The appearance, you don't need to have a watermark. Like there's no reason why you need to be reminded what pair it is. If you need to know what pair it is, you literally just look over here to the left, look over here to the left, and then you will notice it. You don't need to have it in the background. It just takes up space. The grid lines, you don't need the solid background. You just need it to be white, one solid color. And then the horizontal lines, there's no reasoning on why for you to have them pop. Like it just takes up space for no reason, right? So this is how I have my markets. The only EMA I have on my chart is a 50 EMA. So the length is 50, the source is closed, and the offset is 0. Style, this is pretty much how I have the style, and the visibility is on all time frames. It's going to make sense later on in the video how I use the EMA, but just so you guys get a very simple understanding of how I use the EMA. The EMA is literally like an added confluence. Like let's say you're going to go buy a car right now. You're borderline about to buy the car, and they'll be like, you know what? If you buy it right now, we'll throw in a detailed car wash so you take it home clean, right? You're not going to buy the car because of the car wash. It just sweetens up the deal a little bit. It's the same thing with the EMA. The EMA, it's not going to determine your trade like at all. Just when you go take it, it just makes it a little bit better, makes you want to crave it more, right? Or let's say, oh, whenever you go buy the car, we'll give you a 3-month dealer warranty, whatever. Like it's not going to make or break the deal. It just sweetens up the deal. So that's the way how I use the EMA. But again, all of that will make sense later in the following classes. I just kind of want to prepare you guys for what is to come. So if you guys are with me so far, type 1. If you guys aren't, type 2. I see you, David. I see you, David. All right, perfect. Got a bunch of 1s. Perfect. Very simple, right? I take, like I told you guys, I take my time with everything. Like I do everything so concrete, so solid that every step of the way we go, you understand 100%. So there's no reasoning to going back. That's where you waste time, right? So we understand we need to get the markets to look how mine are. So you need to literally make it look like how I am. If you have a bunch of zones up here, you got a bunch of unnecessary zones for whatever reason up here, down here, take them off. You don't need them anymore. If you notice, I just caught this trade with 1 line on my chart. Literally only 1 line, this zone. That's it. That's the only thing I used to catch this trade. 1 box. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. And this is obviously takes time for you to fully understand and how to do it. But tomorrow, we're gonna understand exactly how I caught this trade with just using one zone. So this is the most way I can say to understand it. Just delete everything, forget everything you've known to a certain extent when it comes to charting, and then we'll work on this way on. Is this session going to be recorded? So I could, yes, every single session will be recorded and they will be uploaded in the Telegram you guys are in. Right, so we understand the charts. Next are going to be the pairs. So I get asked all the time, what pairs do I trade? How do I trade them? How do I analyze all these pairs? So this is probably one of the simplest ways I can put it. These are all of the markets that I actively watch on a Sunday, but all of these markets, I don't actively trade them every single week. What do I do is every single Sunday, I break all of them down with the students. And then out of all of these, I'll find top 3 that I look to trade. So for this upcoming week, the only top 3 that I had were USD JPY, Euro GBP, and NZD USD. Why? Just to give you guys a little advance of what to expect. Before I take any trade, I needed to have a minimum of 2 time frames in sync in order to take the trade. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this in the past, and I mean that shit to the end, because you want to be going with the trend. You don't want to go against the trend, but whatever. All of that stuff we'll touch up tomorrow, but I want you guys to understand why I have all of these markets, because sometimes a lot of people, they only trade, let's say GJ, or they only trade Euro USD, but it's choppy. The 4-hour can be bearish daily, but and then it's just like, this is where you get caught up and only trading one pair, and you're a whole 2-3 weeks in a losing streak, because this pair takes 2-3 weeks to have 2 time frames in sync. You get what I mean? That's why I trade so many different pairs, because I don't trade. That's why I look at so many different pairs, because I only trade the ones that make sense. That's why I'm always catching a move every single week. That's why I'm always winning, because I'm taking my precise, perfect strategy to each pair. And it applies to every single pair. Yes, you can apply it to NAS, to US30, because it is simply confluence based. If you only trade on GJ, and let's say you were to apply my strategy on GJ, I haven't traded GJ in like 6 months, just because the structure hasn't made sense. So that's why I trade so many different pairs, because my strategy works on any of them, but doesn't work on any of them at any time. You need for them to line up. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Trust me, this is going to make so much sense in the next following days. But I want you guys to get like the broad overview, right? Which is like the big question on why do I have so many pairs? It's because I trade based off of this. Let me give you guys an analogy. Perfect analogy, right? Let's say you're a surfer. I don't know. Have you guys heard the surfing analogy that I've said before? That show went like extremely viral. I mean, I can literally play it, right? It's a reel. Actually, no, that surfing analogy has nothing to do with this one right here. But the point is that as a surfer, your goal is to just surf, right? You just go to the beach to catch a wave and you do your thing. I surf, let's say the way I surf is I surf based off of where there's waves, right? Hold on, let me just redo everything. Forget everything I said. Now I understand how I'm going to explain it. So as traders, we're surfers, right? So our goal as a surfer is to just, surf, catch a wave, right? If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. So our goal is to just catch a wave, right? You just want to ride the wave, right? Why would you limit yourself to only one beach with only waves whenever it gives it to you? So let's say you only go surf in South Beach, but sometimes South Beach has no waves, like ever, right? But then 2-3 days out of the month, there is nice waves. So what are you going to do? The whole entire of the weeks, you're just going to pull up to South Beach and be frustrated because there's no waves, and you're going to try to make something out of nothing. Ready to just like literally just sit there in the sand? No. What do? I go to other beaches that there is waves. Like, it's really that simple. I don't care what beach I go to. All I care is to ride the wave. So this is where I go to, let's say, Key Biscayne or North Miami Beach or whatever, I'm just saying like local beaches, that there has more ways for me to ride versus only going to South Beach. That's where a lot of traders make mistakes. They only stick to one beach where there's no movement, there's nothing going on, and they can't figure it out why. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. It's like as simple as it can get, right? So that's why I have all of these pairs. So what I do is every single Sunday, I analyze them all. And then after I analyze them, I pick the top 3, and then I just kind of scoot this up because I don't need to see the other ones. It's literally pointless. Like I don't need to be distracted, right? I don't use any of this shit here. I don't even know what this is. This is like crazy to me. I don't like if I can top this, I would, or I probably can, but I just have it there because whatever. I don't use Bollinger Bands. I don't use anything. All I use are these tools from up here. If you notice, every single one of these tools has a purpose. This is my ray. This is my horizontal line. This is my trend line, my call out bar. Like these are all just simple like tools to just like point things out, right? If you notice, there's no Fibonacci. There's no freaking whatever this crazy ass spider thing is. All I use is market structure, support and resistance, and then head and shoulders. Head and shoulders is the only pattern that I use. And you guys will see it many, many times, and it is very effective. And it's not like a pattern, it's just almost like a reversal, but it's strictly based off of structure. Yes, Mohammed. So if you guys understand, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2. If you have any questions regarding everything now, please feel free to ask. Please feel free to ask regarding this. Entry signals or all that stuff is like literally like the last day. All right, perfect. So these are the time frames that I use. Can you show us how to get the EMA? So the EMA, you just type it up. You just search up EMA. Like you literally just put EMA on the thing. Wait, is it like that? Or you go to, oh no, you got to go to indicators. I forgot how to even look for this thing. Yeah, you just go here, you go to technicals and you search up EMA. And then this is the one that you pop up. You just remove the 200, 100, the 20, and you only leave the 50. That's how you get the, or you just get this one. You just set it to the 50. Right. So next we have the time frames. So the time frames, let me just mark this off so you guys understand. And this is me getting a little bit ahead of myself. Because all of this I should realistically be doing it tomorrow, but I'll explain it now just to get it out the way. I mean, not get it out the way, but just so you guys understand now. So these are all of the time frames that I use. Same way how I explained to you guys, have your markets how I have it, have your everything like how I have it, have the time frames like I have it. Bring down this little line and just put a star next to all of these time frames. These are the only time frames that I use. You will not see me using any other time frames. I have the weekly, daily, and the 4-hour are used to understand. I mean, realistically, I'm not even going to type it, right? Because I'm going to save this for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let me see. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them here. We'll just remind it tomorrow, whatever. These 3 are used for one thing, and then these 4 are used for another thing. So these are all of the time frames that I use: weekly, daily, 4-hour, 2, 1, 30, and 50-minute. What is the purpose of them? What do I use them for? Whatever. We'll touch up on that tomorrow. Because like once I get started on this topic, it leads to something else. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, right? I want to make sure we do everything from one shot. So you guys understand? Type 1 if yes, type 2 if no. All right, should be very simple. These are the only time frames that I use. They all have a different purpose. So I'll just leave this here for now. I'll leave it like that so it reminds me. I'm gonna actually do it like this. All right, perfect. All right, so what else? Next we have let me see, what else is this? This is just the line chart, but there's no use for that. I just have it there. Sometimes it feels cool. And that is all that I personally use myself when it comes to TradingView. There's really like nothing else that I do. I just use my pairs. You want to flag some pairs, you can flag them. I have my cryptos elsewhere. Let me see, I have my cryptos here in purple. Because obviously, cryptos purple and stuff, but that's pretty much it. I have all of my pairs in what color? Scroll down, scroll up. So that's everything that I have for TradingView. Do you guys have any questions regarding that for today? Do you guys have any questions that you guys have for tomorrow, the next upcoming weeks? Please ask them now so I kind of have an idea and I prepare myself for the next weeks. Just want to give you guys like I'm saying this is like a warm up. The next days are about to be fire. Yes. Where do you look for your entry signal? Entries are on the lower time frames. What are we doing today? Today is just basic introduction. I want to get to know you guys. You guys get to know me, like on a more personal note. Understand what to expect. I was gonna make this the first day, but I didn't want to make it the first day. I'm just gonna do this so I can read the questions. What seals the deal for you to enter a trade? My entry signal. What is it? We'll touch up on that on day 3. There is not Subans. Why do you not use the fib? I just don't like the fib. I feel like it's too subjective. It's like trend lines. You can put it from wick to wick, wick to body, body to wick, wick to body. Makes no sense to me. Same thing like a trend line. I just need market structure. It's a lot more effective. How do you back test? I don't actively back test it. I don't think I've ever back tested. Let's put it like that. I think everything's been live. Because back testing messes with your psychology a lot, because you can go through a whole month of data in 10 seconds, but waiting that actual month for that trade to play out in real-time life, you'll have so many emotions throughout that whole entire month. You'll think about quitting trading. You'll think about, oh, I'm rich now. You'll think so many stuff in 1 month that back testing, seeing it in 5 seconds, just messes everything up. Are you going to cover how position sizing for entries? So actually position sizing for entries, I feel like it's something extremely simple. I can even touch up on that right now, because I feel like that would be I wouldn't say a waste of time, but so you guys just head over to my effects book, position size calculator. These freaking ads. So you guys come here, whatever pair you want. Let's say we're trading GJ, your account size, let's say it's a standard 100K challenge. You only want to risk 1%. I don't know why this is not letting me put here, but you basically just put the percentage you want to risk here. Then you put your stop loss, let's say it's 20, and then you calculate it, and then it throws it out. Just for me, for some reason, it's not letting me put the lot size. So that's when it comes to that. The position size calculating, that is very simple. Is there a reason you use EMA versus MA? I just learned with the EMA and I just stuck with it. We can use your principles of swing trading and different methods. Yes. Do you take trades when price touches very strong level of supply and demand? Yes, this is what we're going to touch up on day 2. What do you classify as a higher low, lower high tomorrow? Have you ever had to adapt your strategy to the current market? In terms of adapting, like the strategy stays the same. Have I had to adapt? Yes, there's weeks that it's slow and there's weeks where it's strong. Like the same thing as surfing. There's weeks where there's a lot of waves. There's weeks where there's no waves, and you just learn how to adapt. When there's no waves, you just kind of wait around. When there's waves, you try your best to get as many waves, out the way. So that's when I adapt, but I'm not going to change my surfing technique because there's low waves or no waves. And by the way, I've never surfed in my life. So this is just me saying like a simple analogy. Do you wait for New York to open a trade or any session? Yeah, I mainly trade during New York and London session only. It's like, again, simple analogy with the surfing. It's like surfing in the morning, surfing at night, kind of in the afternoon. There's no waves because there's no wind. I don't know. But the best times to surf is in the morning where there's waves and at night. That's the best thing that I got. 2.5 years. Exactly. But yeah, so yeah, this is kind of pretty much everything for day 1. It's just simple. I just wanted to get to like warm up you guys, have you guys for what you guys expect. I saw the polls for the times. I saw they were pretty much the same both times. So we'll just, if anything, we'll do one day in the morning, one day at night, or we'll just stick to, the whole entire week in the afternoon like this, whatever's best for you guys. On day 3, we'll decide if we do the psychology series is in the morning, which is just more like pointing. There's not much technicals. It's just more like note taking. But for now, we have tomorrow's class, same time. That's okay with you guys? Solid. That will basically be the day 1, and I kind of want to give you guys more time to get ready, because I feel like this day 1 I didn't give you guys enough preparation time. So I'm fair. Like I said, I don't want to rush into the thing. So appreciate that. I wasn't ready. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Drift cars coming along, coming along. I'm working on it. Working on it. You guys are gonna trip out. This drift car is insane. Maybe I don't know why it's not letting you, to be honest. How many zones do you draw at a time? That will be on day 2. Yeah, trust me. I get excited tomorrow. Today, this is nothing. It's just simple. It's just basic stuff.